I see Facebook banning the ads on ICO more of a protection measure that they decided to take because they didn't want to be caught in the middle of an ad that promised to double the money and the person that clicked the ad and doesn't double the money. And they want to make sure that they don't get claims against deceiving advertising. Also, I think that it's not that bad that they're banning it. It doesn't change much. It just make the digital marketer a little bit more active in looking for ways to promoting the ICO and not just spending the budget onto ads. I don't think Facebook was effective to start with in terms of token sales. I know of an ICO that invested quite a bit of money on Facebook, reached over 600,000 people, but only managed to sell to less than 100. So it gives again the opportunity to look at the market differently and find more creative ways to approach the market for marketing purpose. I don't think there should be any limitation in the maximum amount of token that an individual can purchase in an ICO. At least not for now, maybe in future. The problem is not so rampant, although I agree that there is a swing between last year, 2017, majority of crowd sale, and 2018, a large number of investors-only ICOs. I think it's too soon to be alarmed about the amount of tokens. If this one comes by regulation, it's because probably some countries have identified that that problem is becoming endemic, but I don't think it's a widespread policy among the regulators to impose a maximum amount of token distribution, token purchase for the distribution of a few individuals. So I think it will not happen for now. It might happen in future if this one becomes a larger proportion. The jurisdiction of an ICO definitely have a impact in the way the marketing campaign is planned and the token sales is planned. Obviously, we know that the general definition is between security and utility tokens, and this is what pretty much set apart regulators and regulations and countries when it comes to ICO. I think in future there might be more type of tokens coming up. I think there could be a hybrid in between, or it could be multiple token for utility purpose within the same ICO. I also foresee that in future there will be a sort of an ongoing coin offering, OCO, or it could be a continuous coin offering, or CCO. So for now, when it comes to ICO, one has to set the incorporation in a country that is favorable in terms of regulation, and all the communication has to be done in order to meet the requirement of the regulatory compliance. So definitely that has an impact. I think that the main challenge in marketing an ICO is that the number of users happy to buy tokens or willing to buy tokens is becoming smaller and smaller. The largest ICO that I can recall in terms of investors, backers, is 72,000 people have purchased the token, which is very small on a population of 7.6 billion. 72,000 token holders makes the largest ICO. It's a warning signal that there is not enough people purchasing tokens, which means that there are fewer individuals that are purchasing large amount of tokens, and the actual crowd sales are very, very limited. So I think that the marketer has to be able to approach new customers, people that have never purchased a token before, and people that have never purchased a cryptocurrency before. Thus, I would say the idea is to simplify the workflow of purchasing the tokens so that the user doesn't even realize that he's purchasing tokens, but it's just a normal transaction online. And the marketers that manage to do that, or to simplify the process, are those that are going to make ICOs potentially more successful. I've been in marketing for more than 20 years. Until now, I cannot predict whether a ICO, whether it's successful or not, will generate a successful or unsuccessful startup. there is no correlation. There are too many factors that can be playing a role, and there's not only marketing. For some cases, it could be regulation even, or politics, or market conditions, or simply competition. Look, for example, at the recent case of Uber being kicked out of Asia by Grab, which a couple of years ago was just an underdog, and now it became the number one provider of the service, and Uber was the standard and is no longer the standard. In a couple of years, just disappear. This can happen to any industry, and especially in the ICO, because some of the ICO projects, they start with totally no platform developed, and they are planning to maybe develop the platform. But maybe they sell the story very well, and so they have a large contribution of investors, crowd sales or token sales, but then they fail to deliver. Many projects have been discovered to be not workable after the ICO is completed. So ICO is successful and startup is unsuccessful. It could go anyway. It all boils down to normal market condition of what the market wants and whether the company, the startup, is able to provide what the market wants. I think the first step for every ICO marketing campaign should be looking at it from a sales perspective. In the end, an ICO is a token sales, selling tokens, and everything should be structured to deliver that message. We are selling a token. From marketing, it cannot be buying advertising on whatever platform and then just wait that it plays the magic and everyone buys the token. It doesn't work that way. Implementation, case study, partnership, all this is just to show that it works, but bottom line is sales. Salesforce is important to be part of an ICO, documenting, like we do at VOX, what are the stages of sales, pre-sales, sales, post-sales, so that everyone that is involved with transaction knows exactly what to do the next step in order to purchase the token, holding the token, or reselling the token. This is crucial, in my opinion, more important than marketing. And also, when we talk about marketing, it cannot be only categorize everything under marketing or digital marketing. There are so many other things that play a crucial role. I also predict that probably Telegram will decrease the importance that currently has in the ICO industry, because it sounds like that the success of an ICO is totally predicted by the number of followers on Telegram. This cannot stay around too long. It's incorrect. And sooner or later there will be more platforms that develop interaction with audience. At VOX, for instance, we are advocating now the use of Quora for answering the question of people that have never purchased a token before. And I think this will be more and more a common practice in the industry, especially when it comes to marketing, sales of token during an ICO. Yes, I was one of the speakers at TEDx, and I was talking about using words that resound with our way of thinking, not forcing ourselves to use words just because they are effective, because if they are said with the wrong intention, they might not be as effective as they could be if we think that way. Just yesterday night we have hosted an event here, we call it Beers and Pitch, where we invite ICOs to attend and pitch their ICO in 45 seconds. So choice of word is very important, and you will find that some of them come up with a lot of energy, some of them with a lot of technical explanation. In simple terms, I would say that the choice of word could be important. As an example, for instance, investment on one side or token sales on the other side. Some of the people that pitch the ICO could say, invest in our ICO. Someone will say, buy our token. Though at the back of their mind they are thinking it is a security or it is a utility. And the choice of word defines their fears, of course, and the way they want to plan and carefully plant in the mind of the listener the idea of purchase the token or investing, depending on which one resounds best within their framework of regulation and within their degree of comfort of promising what the buyers will eventually get from participating in the ICO. At the Blockchain and Bitcoin Conference in Finland, I will bring one of my bestseller presentations, which is called Welcome to the Marvelous World of ICO-llywood, where everyone produces entertainment, and I think that ICO is some aspect of entertainment. And so to make a movie, you need a script, you need actors, you need a producer. To make an ICO, you need a white paper, advisors, investors. Similarities are striking, and during the presentation I will compare the way the choice of white paper, actors, advisors or investors reflects and influence the outcome of an ICO. So don't miss my talk. I'm Stefano Virgilli from VOX, the CEO of VOX, which is a boutique advisory company, and we are in Singapore today, and I can't wait to be in Finland to speak to the audience about the marvelous world of ICO-llywood. I'll see you there.